Hey, welcome to the Movie Geek. This week I'm showing you how I made another costume, my Optimus Prime, that you probably saw in my video where I went in it to Revenge of the Fallen. But the costume, pretty much all it was big boxes of cardboard, some thinner cardboard like from cereal boxes and soda boxes, some spray paint, super glue, Velcro, electrical tape, scissors, just a bunch of cheap stuff. I mean, the whole costume altogether took me only about $20 to make. And, over the course of, I think I made it over the course of 5 days on the week before the movie came out. But starting off with the head was probably the hardest part to really get right, to get it to look right, because it had to be three-dimensional, and it really had to have the shapes that Optimus Prime's head had. So what I had to do was kind of take a cardboard box. A cereal box was big enough so that each side of the cereal box would be about the size of the side of the head, and I would have to cut it out in a certain way so that I could fold it and have these pieces fold into each other so that I could kind of make it a 3D shape. I would have to fold pieces over and make little tabs that I could super glue together to give it the dimension. It took a lot of planning of everything on the entire costume. I had to do the most planning for this because I didn't have any template or anything. I just kind of drew it, estimating measurements and everything. But in the end, it looked pretty good because I was able to really get the 3D shape that Optimus Prime's helmet has. And for the top part of the helmet, I just went to the DI, or the thrift store, and got an old baseball cap, took it to the bandsaw, and sliced it so that the bottom was flat. And that's what I would use to glue those side cardboard pieces onto. But then it was interesting when I was gluing it together. I used super glue to attach it, but then I got real smart and decided to put it on my head before it dried, so it got stuck on my hair. But that came off easily. And then I cut those little pieces that go kind of like on the ears of his helmet. Just cut that out of more cardboard, glued those on. Just took some sunglasses, put some cardboard pieces over the top, and then that would be the separate piece that would go on first, and then the helmet part would go on top. Spray paint that blue, and that's pretty much all the helmet was. To make the torso, I just took a cardboard box about the right size, cut some holes in it so that it would be about right, but the first test didn't go too well because the armholes where my arms would poke through were way too small, so I couldn't get it off. It's pretty funny, but I eventually made the holes bigger and figured that out. To make the grills on front, I just took some thin strips of cardboard and put those on, and then made some window pieces out of more cardboard, extended it further down, and added pieces up top with cardboard. For the headlights, I just took these little plastic pieces, put a little end of a soda thing at the bottom on it, glued those on, and then you'll see I use electrical tape and Velcro to attach things on, and then I add some plastic wrap for windows, spray paint it. The arms, an idea I got from a friend was to use soda boxes, which are just right. For the exhaust pipes, I took some PVC pipe, one bent, one smaller, kind of cut it down to size, used a little piece of cardboard ring to wrap around to kind of make it smoother so that they would look like it was thinned down. Spray paint that silver. spray paint the hands red, and I was cutting a few places, spraying the parts silver I needed, added the silver kind of bicep piece there, the Autobot symbol I just made out of spray painted cardboard, cut out of the design, and then used pretty much strips of electrical tape and then super glue to attach all the pieces together to keep them on strong, but also keep them flexible, but also kind of still looking a bit mechanical. It worked pretty well. Adding a little bit of cardboard piece for support. The hands for the fingers I took and cut 10 little pieces out of cardboard, little cross pieces that I could fold up into little ends of cubes, use a bit of super glue to glue it all together so that it would be one piece. And from there I just took some regular black gloves and then used super glue to glue those on. For the little pieces on the knuckles in between, I just took thinner strips of cardboard to make thinner knuckle pieces, and then the wrist piece was just one big piece of cardboard. It was just a lot of gluing cardboard pieces on, but it looks really good. It looks really blocky and robotic. The legs, again, just a cardboard box folded up to be about the right shape. Cut some details out with scissors, especially on the tires, which I would then add a little border piece and then glue those back on to really give it dimension. And for the exhaust things on front, took more cardboard boxes and cut those in the right shape, glued those on, spray painted all again, and then add the separate cardboard pieces for those little vents. Add a piece underneath to give it more dimension, different color. And then the tires were just a spray paint cap wrapped around with some black foamy pieces, and then I just glued those on, just glue to stick everything together. And then the thigh pieces made out of more cardboard, folded up to shape. The groin piece, just more cardboard, folded up, glued some yellow paper on for those things. Took a blue foamy for soda cans, split it in half, and then added tops and details to it for those things on the sides of the legs. The feet were just more cardboard, folded up. Spray paint everything. Lots of spray paint. And then, just using little strips of cardboard or electrical tape to glue them on. Velcro on places like the waist. And that's pretty much how I made the costume. It's pretty cool that I could make that, and I'm pretty glad with the way it turned out, but as you can see, I made a mess while making it. Just lots of cardboard scrap pieces everywhere, but it's a good costume. I was able to do a little bit of everything in it, including some rock band. So that's how I knew it was a good costume, durable for everything I needed. So there you go, an Optimus Prime costume I made in 5 days for about a grand total of $20. Thanks, and be on the lookout for another episode next week.